Close your eyes and imagine this. You're 8 years old. You're thousands of feet in the air, flying home after being stranded abroad for months. Outside, it's raining hard. The clouds hang low and gray. You look at your mother. She's holding your hand, smiling to calm you. The plane jolts. Once, then twice. The lights flicker. Suddenly, there's a loud bang. The world turns upside down. And when you wake up, you're surrounded by crushed metal, smoke, and silence. You're the only one left alive. This is the fictionalized story of Mira, the sole survivor of a tragedy inspired by real events. On August 7, 2020, Air India Express Flight 1344 was carrying 190 passengers from Dubai to Kozhikode, India, during the COVID-19 pandemic. The aircraft was attempting to land on a tabletop runway, a narrow airstrip built on elevated terrain. Rain pounded the airport as the Boeing 737 approached. The plane landed too far down the slick runway, skidded past the edge, and plunged into a 30-foot gorge. The fuselage split in two. Both pilots died on impact. In total, 21 lives were lost. But from that twisted wreckage, one small voice survived. This is a story of pain, a story of survival, and above all, a story of strength. This video is a dramatized retelling based on true events. Names, characters, and specific details have been fictionalized for emotional storytelling. Viewer discretion is advised. If you're ready, join us. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below to honor the lives lost and the one who made it out. Chapter 1. The journey home. Mira was excited. She hadn't seen her father in nearly 7 months. COVID-19 had turned the world upside down. She and her mother were stranded in Dubai, stuck living with distant relatives as India closed its borders. Her mother had been patient, homeschooling Mira, cooking meals, and calling her father every night on WhatsApp. But now, at last, they were going home. The flight was part of the Vande Bharat repatriation mission, bringing Indian citizens back during the crisis. Inside the Boeing 737, masked passengers sat quietly, reading or staring out the windows. Mira sat by the window, watching raindrops race each other down the glass. Her mother reached over and brushed Mira's hair aside. "We'll be home soon," she whispered. The plane began to descend. The seatbelt light came on. Mira smiled. She didn't know what was coming. Chapter 2. The final approach. The control tower issued a landing clearance, but warned of heavy rain and low visibility. The pilots of Flight 1344 were experienced. Captain Deepak Seth had served in the Indian Air Force. First Officer Akhilesh Kumar was calm and focused, but even they knew this was a tricky approach. The Kozhikode runway was a tabletop, built on a plateau. Overshooting meant going over the edge. As the plane descended, wind buffeted the wings. Mira felt her stomach flutter. "Just a little turbulence," her mother said. The plane touched down, but too far down the runway. Brakes screamed, the reverse thrusters roared. But it was too late. The wheels lost grip. The aircraft skidded. Then, silence. The plane dropped off the runway and shattered. Chapter 3. Impact. Mira was thrown forward. Her seatbelt held her back just enough. She heard a noise louder than thunder, like the sky itself was breaking. Something hit her leg. Lights exploded. Then nothing. Minutes passed, maybe hours. When she opened her eyes, everything was sideways. Her mother was limp beside her. The air stung. It smelled like smoke and burning plastic. She called for her mom, but her voice was barely a whisper. No answer. She was alone, or so she thought. Chapter 4. The rescue outside. Emergency teams rushed through the rain. Locals had heard the crash and were already at the scene, trying to pull people from the wreckage. Flashlights swept across the broken fuselage. Is anyone alive? Inside, Mira tried to cry out. Her mouth was dry. Then, light. A beam of a flashlight landed on her face. "We've got a child, still breathing." The rescue team cut her seat free and gently pulled her out, wrapping her in a blanket. Her tiny hand clutched her stuffed toy, soaked and burned, but still there. The medic whispered, "You're the lucky one." She didn't feel lucky. She felt broken. Chapter 5. At sea with the hospital, doctors worked around the clock. Her legs were fractured in 2 places. Her lungs had inhaled smoke. Her heartbeat was weak, but steady. The first 24 hours were critical. Her father arrived the next morning, breaking down as he saw her. But Mira didn't know yet. She didn't know she was the only one who survived from her wreck. She didn't know her mother never left the wreckage. And no one had the heart to tell her. Chapter 6. Waking to silence, Mira slowly blinked her eyes open, the ceiling above her unfamiliar. The sterile lights buzzed softly. Beeping monitors surrounded her. Tubes ran from her arms. A bandage covered her forehead. "You're safe now," a nurse whispered. But Mira didn't feel safe. Her legs were wrapped in casts. Her chest felt tight with every breath. And her voice was gone. Her father sat beside her, silent, hollow, his face gaunt from worry. When Mira finally managed to speak, she asked only one thing: "Where's Mama?" Her father didn't answer. He simply looked away. In that moment, Mira knew. Tears didn't come right away. Only a strange emptiness filled the room. Chapter 7. The world watches. Outside, the world learned of her survival. News headlines flashed across the globe. 8-year-old sole survivor of India plane crash. Miracle in Kozhikode. Photos of her rescue circulated online. Video footage from bystanders showed the burning wreckage, the monsoon rain, the urgent rescue. She was hailed as a symbol of hope. People sent letters, toys, prayers, but she remained unaware. Her hospital room became a place of recovery, but also of mourning. Journalists camped outside. Security was posted at her door, but all Mira wanted was to hear her mother's voice one more time. Chapter 8. The long climb. Recovery was slow, painful, exhausting. She had to relearn everything, sitting up, holding a spoon, taking the first step. Her therapist, Anjali, guided her with patience. One step at a time, but Mira would fall. Cry, get frustrated. Sometimes she'd go quiet for hours, staring at nothing, locked in memory. Other times she'd draw airplanes. Some were flying, others were broken. Her father stayed every night. He read books, combed her hair, and then slowly, very slowly, began to speak again. They didn't talk about the crash, not yet. But one night he whispered, "You lived because your mom protected you. She held you tight. That's why you're here." Mira nodded. "Then I have to live like she would have wanted." Chapter 9. The gift of remembering. Months later, Mira was walking again, still limping but stronger. She could finally go outside, feel the sun, smell the flowers, hear the birds. But every plane she saw overhead made her flinch. She returned to school where children stared but said nothing. During a class art project, she drew herself with angel wings. The teacher asked why. "Because someone carried me." Her story spread further. A documentary team reached out. Books were written. A foundation was created in her name to support other children who survived trauma. But through all the attention, Mira remained grounded, kind, quiet, wise beyond her years. Chapter 10. The return to. Years later, she stood at the edge of the Kozhikode runway with her father. The rain was light this time. The air was still. "This is where it happened," he said softly. Mira closed her eyes. She saw it all. The lights, the rain, the skid, the drop. But she also remembered the arms that shielded her. "Not afraid anymore," she said. That same day, she asked her father if they could fly again, just a short flight. He hesitated and nodded. And when the plane took off, Mira didn't flinch. She looked out the window, watching the clouds, imagining her mother among them. Chapter 11. Her voice at age 11. Mira was invited to speak at a memorial event for the victims of Flight 1344. She stepped onto the stage slowly, took the mic and scanned the crowd. "I don't remember everything," she began, "but I remember the pain, the silence." She paused, steadying her breath. "But I also remember the hands that saved me, the people who carried me, and the love that never left." Her voice didn't shake. Her words echoed. "You can lose everything," she said, "but if you have breath, you have hope." The audience wept. Her father wept. And so did the nation. Mira's story is not just about surviving a crash, it's about the journey after. The strength to stand up, the courage to speak, the will to remember. In the face of tragedy, she became a light. And now, She dreams of becoming a pilot, not to escape her past, but to rise above it. If this story touched your heart, please hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel for more real-life survival stories, and ring the bell so you never miss one. Leave a comment below, with A to remember those lost, and to honor those who survived.